So you own a Garmin Forerunner 165 and you're struggling to learn how to use it. That was me at the very beginning. It takes time to learn how to use these watches. And that's why I made this whole series on how to actually navigate and use your Forerunner 165. First up, we got notifications and alerts. So off the bat, to get to all of these settings easily, you want to hold the light button, scroll around on your activity wheel, hit settings, and first we're going to go into notifications and alerts. So these settings are super important, especially for when you're working out and not working out, because most likely you don't want the same notifications to be coming in while you're doing your workout as you are not doing your workout. Does that make sense? I'm saying that you don't want to see a text message probably when you're working out compared to if you're not working out, you probably do want to see a text message. So that's why this is important. So first you want to go to the smart notifications. You can do during activity. In that section, you'll be able to choose if you want the status to be on or off for that activity. So that means if you're working out, do you want to get notifications? Yes or no? How do you want that notification to come through? For calls, do you want it to vibrate? Do you want it to have a tone? It's up to you. It all depends on what you want. Next, you have your text. You have text where you can do the exact same thing. You can turn it on or off. You can have it have a tone, which is a noise, or you can have a vibration or not. I keep all of these to just vibrations. I definitely want to get phone calls while I'm working out, just in case my wife needs me. I definitely want to get text, just in case my wife needs me. But the one thing I don't want to get is app notifications. So me personally, I turn that off. Then you have the general use, which still has calls and text and apps, but you still have to go into those settings. Because yes, you already changed your during activity, but that doesn't matter when you're not working out. When you're not working out, you need to make sure you have settings set up for that as well. So down here, we have status on. I have my calls for vibration, my text for vibration, my apps to silent, which, let's back it up a little bit. For your calls, vibration, you can put it on status on. You have the tone. I always keep it on vibration. Text, it's the same prompts down in there. But then you have apps. When you go into the apps, you can choose to have a tone, a vibration. Look at that. I have both of those off. But I still have status on. That is because I will be able to get a notification, but it's going to be silent. I'm not going to get a vibration. I'm not going to get a tone. I'm going to be able to see it though. Then there's another setting. Down here, it's privacy. You can put your privacy off. You can put your privacy for press start, which means you'll have the privacy up, or for a gesture. When you go into the privacy, this means, are you going to actually, from what I understand, are you going to see the notification pop up or not? Now, what you can have here is you can hit the start button to be able to see the notification, or you can do a gesture. I haven't actually played around with this, so honestly, I just kept it off. Now, for the timeout, this is how long you'll actually be able to see your notification. I keep it as short as possible. I'm not trying to see notifications for a long time. That's up to you. You choose what you want to do. Then you have your signature. This means when you're responding to a text message or a message in general, it'll say that, hey, this is from my watch. Do you want that on or off? You choose. Now, let's go into the system alerts because those were notifications. System alerts are a little different. When you dive into it, you'll see that you have time, you have phone, health and wellness, and abnormal heart rate alerts. Let's dive into it. So for time, I personally like to know about the sunset and the sunrise, so you can actually set that. These alerts will tell you when the sun is going to set and then when the sun is going to rise. And you can also get an hourly update. When you click into, let's say, the till sunset, you can choose how much time you want to know before the sun is actually going to set. That is the same for the sunrise. I don't wake up early anymore right now, just yet. I will start again very soon, so I will be putting this on. I want to know if the sun's going to rise 10 minutes before it's going to rise. Why not? It's a good thing to know. Now, the other thing I don't have on for time is an hourly update. Why would you want that? Why would you want to know when every hour is going to happen? I mean, maybe you're doing something that you're timing yourself with throughout the day. Maybe you want to take an hour break. After every hour of work, you want to take a break, or every hour of walking, you need to take a break. That would be very important to set that setting on. But let's go into the phone alerts now. Now, connection. This tells you if your phone is connected to the watch or not. I keep that off. You can put it on, you can put it off. But the one thing I do keep on is the Find My Phone alert. Because hey, you never know when you're trying to look for your phone. And when you do need to look for your phone and you're wearing the watch, you're going to be able to find it by easily clicking the Find My Phone button on your scroll menu. Now, this is important for when you're working out in a gym, or maybe you're going for a run, maybe you're going for a hike, maybe you're doing an activity on a boat and you left your freaking phone there and you forgot. Then you can't find it. You do the Find My Phone, it's going to send a buzzing noise to your phone and you're going to be able to find it easily. Let's go to health and wellness. Now, I keep this on, but it is slightly annoying. It's the move alert. You can't choose how much it tells you when to move or anything like that. You just click move alert on or off, and random times throughout the day, if you have not been moving a lot, it goes, you should move. And then if you've just been wiggling your wrist a lot, you don't get that notification. Sometimes it says move alert skipped, move alert bypassed. I don't remember what it says, but it does remind you. I keep it on because it is a good thing to remind. And then you have your goal alert, which you can set different goals. You can set your steps, you can step your stairs climbed, you can step your calories, you can do your intensity minutes. This right here will make it so that once you hit those, it'll give you an alert. If you want it off, have it off. I keep it on because it's so much fun to know when you've achieved something, which is why you most likely own a watch like this. But let's keep going through this. We're at the last part here. We got the abnormal heart rate alerts. This is important for someone that really wants to pay attention to their health and wellness because they have a sensitivity, maybe they have something wrong with them, or they just need to be very cautious because of their health. You can put on the high alert, which you can then choose the BPM that you want to be alerted on. I personally don't want that on. Then you can do the low alert, which is the same thing. You choose the BPM that you want to be alerted on. I don't want that on. But that's me personally. But this is more about you. And that's why I recorded the next video. I'm going to show you how to set up the settings on connecting your watch to different accessories and your phone in general. Let's dive right on in. Right now, we're going to do the sensors and accessories. Now, it's super simple, super easy. You click the add new button. I'm saying if you have a heart rate sensor you want to attach to it, click the add new button. You have a footpod you want to attach to it, click the add new button. You want to connect a light, you want to connect a radar, you want to connect a speed calculator thingy, you want to do a thermometer, whatever you want. You can even hit search all to just find whatever Bluetooth device you have around you. It's that simple. Now, yes, you cannot pair headphones to the one that I have, which is the non-music. But hey, if you have a bunch of sensors that you bought throughout Garmin, you can connect them right here. Can you connect non-Garmin items? I personally don't know because I don't have any other sensors that I want to connect. But one thing that I still haven't used, and maybe you want to, is making sure the compass that you're using on the watch is calibrated. You go down in the sensors section and you hit calibrate compass. You get to wiggle your wrist around a little bit, figure 8. Calibration failed because I did it bad. Okay. My apologies, y'all. But that's not what this is about. This is to show you exactly where to find these things. Now you got your sensors all set up, but is your watch actually connected to your phone? Well, let's make sure by going to connectivity. You click phone, you can see the status. All right, I want to make sure the status is shown all the time. Click that on. Or you can turn it off. I want it on. You can make sure you have your notifications. Do you want your notifications on actually? Which I do have a whole video that talks about notifications that was made right before this one, so check that one out if you're actually curious about it. But you can choose, okay, do I get the calls during activities, general use, my signature? Cool. Other thing, connected alerts. Do you want to know if your phone is connected or not? You want to pair your actual phone. I'm not going to click that button because I'm afraid it's going to try and pair to my phone, even though it's already paired and I'm actually recording with my phone for you to be able to see on my watch screen. So I don't want to mess anything up. And I also keep my Find My Phone alerts on. Now, the other thing about connectivity is making sure you're connected to your Garmin Share. Oh, it's enabled. Do you want to make sure your Garmin Share that doesn't have your watch on it anymore because you're going to get rid of it? Hit Forget Devices. And there you have it, honestly. That's everything that you need to know about connecting devices and making sure your device is connected to a different device like a cell phone. But There's more to this watch because I know you didn't just buy it for this. You bought it because you want it to help you train, which is why I created this video right here, how to set up your audio prompts for when you're working out. That is very important, especially for if you're a person that wants to utilize this watch to its fullest potential. But with that being said, let's look at how to set up some settings for audio prompts on your Forerunner 165. Now, audio prompts. Going on in, this is probably one of my favorite features of this watch and basically any running watch in general. If your watch doesn't have this and you're running with it, get rid of it, get a different one. All right, audio output, default. That's all you get. There ain't no speaker in this. It's not gonna yell out you. You need to have your phone connected or headphones connected to your phone. And it is going to tell you out loud different things, like your pace and how many miles you've gone, which is very helpful. I keep it on a lap alert. What is a lap? A lap alert is which mile you've hit, or half a mile. Take it off, you're not gonna hear it. Put it on, you're gonna hear it. It's gonna tell you, you are now on mile 2, and last mile was this pace. That is what lap alert is gonna do for you. The next thing I always have on is the pace and speed alerts. This here, you can have a reoccurring alert, which when you go into that, you have the status, which I have off on this one. But what you can choose here is your alert type. You can choose it to be average pace and speed, your current pace and speed, and your lap pace and speed. It really depends on you. Now, you can choose the frequency of this, which I would choose, for me personally, lap, but you can choose by minutes as well. And that's just so you don't have to look at your watch while you're running to see what pace am I at, what lap am I on. It makes it so that you have to use the face of the watch less and you get to use your audio more while you keep running and focus on running instead of constantly pulling your wrist up to look. So this setting here really depends on what you want to do. Now, there are Pace Pro alerts as well, but that you have to set up your Pace Pro to actually get these alerts, and I have my Pace Pro set up. Now, you can also have alerts for your heart rate. When you go in here, I do not keep this on. I personally do not care about my heart rate. I am not in that type of training yet. If you are, this is important to you. You can do the alert type, which is your heart rate zone, your percent max heart rate, and your heart rate reserve. What do these mean? I don't know. I'm not a heart rate person, but I'm pretty sure they're important to people that are heart rate people, which might be you, but I'm not you, so I don't know. And then when you back out of that, you see that you have the lap frequency as well, which you can choose by minute, up to 10 minutes. Now, another thing is a power alert. If you're a person that really wants to know what your power is, whatever that actually means, you can choose the alert type as well, which could be your average power or your lap power. I don't have this setting on. I don't really pay attention to my power, but you might be the person that wants to pay attention to it. And if you do, you better choose the frequency of it as well, up to 10 minutes. Now, we just finished the audio prompt section, and if I went too fast, I'm sorry. It's really repetitive on it. It's just about what prompts you want to hear. And personally, I just like to hear my pace and how many miles I have gone. If you like those other things you want to hear about your heart rate or your power, those are all in here. And I hope you really take your time to set that up because things like this can make a big difference when you are training, which is why this series doesn't end here because I've made another video that talks about how to set up your user profile, your safety and tracking, and your health and wellness. With that being said, let's dive into it. Down to user profile. When you're in there, this is important to set up. You need to set this up. First off, you need to tell it what you are. Are you a male, a female, non-specified? You choose. I'm a male, so I chose male. You need to make sure you have the right birth date in there because it needs to know how old you are. Because yes, it says fitness age up here, but that's a fitness age. That's not my age. Even though I am 32, I want to be like 24 on my fitness age. That is my goal. So you also need to make sure you put in your height as well. I'm 5'11", if anyone was curious. And your weight, which I'm 226 pounds. Also make sure the watch knows which wrist you have your watch on. I keep my watch on my left. If you keep it on the right, switch it to the right. Make sure you set that. It makes a big difference from my understanding. I don't understand a lot about these watches, but I'm pretty sure it makes a big difference. The next thing, you have the heart rate and power zones. You'll be able to see in here. You'll be able to change these settings. These are a little more in-depth than I actually know. But if you're a person that wants to make sure, hey, I need to make sure my watch knows that my max heart rate is this, go and set it in there. I need to make sure it knows that my resting heart rate is this, I need to set it in there. Or you can use average. You can go in there, auto detect. That's what I have set up. Now the other thing here is your zones. And it's actually pretty cool that this watch goes into this much detail, but I'm pretty sure this is like, hey, this is what your warm-up is at. This is what it's like when you're at your easy pace, your aerobic, your threshold. And if you want to get more accurate VO2 max, you should probably check these settings. But if you're just a person that's like, I'm trying to get better because of my watch, you might not need to dive in this much detail. There's also this add a sport heart rate section. Oh, wow. This watch goes into a lot of detail, and that's exactly why you bought it, because you want it to be a tool. And if you're looking to go into this much detail, keep doing some research on YouTube. Some other people dive into this a little more than I do. You got running, cycling, and swimming. The main things you're using the Forerunner 1654 for. When you go in there, you can choose the different heart rate zones. When you go backwards, you'll see here that you have running power. I personally don't pay attention to my running power, but if you're a person that wants to pay attention to that, when you go in here, you can choose what it's based off of, your watts or percent of TP. Then you have your threshold power. Honestly, I don't know much of any of this stuff. I'm just showing you that's where you find it. The main important things you need to know about user profile is your weight, your height, your birth date, male, female, wrist, where it's located, all of this stuff down here, the heart rate and power zones, that's too much for me, but it might not be too much for you. So now you know where to find it. Now, let's go into safety and tracking because this is important, especially if you're going on major roads or in the woods, or you're just training really hard and you need someone to know when you're not doing good. Safety and tracking is important. You have live track, you have live event sharing, you have incident detection, assistance, and emergency contacts. Live track, you can have it on auto start, notify a recipient, and I'm pretty sure, I think that you have to pay for Garmin Plus, so I don't have that on, but I think I paid for it when I was doing my marathon for people to track me. Or I didn't. I think what I used was actually this, the live event sharing, and you can add people to it, and it'll actually message them, and then you can do message examples. You can see what it's going to look like, but most of this is in the Garmin Connect app, but it is important for you to see it on the watch as well. You can do the recipients, which I had these people here for when I was running my marathon. And I have it off because I'm not doing an event, but what this did was it emailed them and it texted them to be able to see where I was at the race. I didn't fully understand how to use this when I was doing the race, so it didn't work out for me. But if you're going to be running a marathon and you want your family to be able to see where you're at, live event sharing and live track is very important for you. You just might have to pay for Garmin Connect Plus to be able to do it. Now, the other thing that's important is incident detection, and it's only for certain workouts. As you see here, you can do on run, you can do it on walk, hike, bike, track run, and then you have unsupported activities, other activities, and that's right down here. You got your strength, HIIT, cardio, jump rope, yoga, breathwork, treadmill, pool swimming. Now, the incident detection, how does it work? I honestly don't know. I just have it on just in case, because then you have your assistants, then you have your emergency contacts, which I have as my wife. But it's important to make sure you have an emergency contact on there, because once your watch detects that you're not doing good or you need assistance and you hold this long enough, let's see what happens. Boom, look at that, notifying your emergency contacts, and hold any key to cancel. That is why it's important to set up your incident detection and your emergency contacts, because my watch would contact my wife right then and there that there is something wrong with me and I need help, please. And it would probably give her my location or something. I don't know that far because I've never had to use that, but please set that up on your watch. Now we can go into health and wellness. First off, you can go in there and you can see your wrist heart rate. I always keep it on auto and broadcast the heart rate. I don't know what that does. It really knocked me out before. Then you have the pulse oximeter, and I put it on demand because I don't want it while I'm sleeping, and I don't want it all day. I want it to be when I want to check it out. It's not really as important to me right now, so I just keep it on demand. Then you have your daily summary, which I always keep on. I love the daily summary. It is awesome. The stress alerts I keep off, but you can set it up for during your event or after your event to give you a heads up of being like, hey, while you're doing this activity, you're a little stressed, or even after activity, you're still stressed. You should probably relax. Your watch can tell you that stuff. Other thing you can put on if you want, I don't have it on, is a rest alert. I do keep on my move alert to make sure that it tells me to move when I've been sitting around too much, because then I'm like, hey, I should probably get up and move around, which is a good thing because we should always be moving. Then we have the goal alert, which I love having the goal alert on, but you can have it halfway on by saying just don't have my goal alert on while I'm on my activity, like running or something like that. Which that means, like, if you wanted to say, I wanted to walk X amount of steps today, and while you're on your run, that 10,000 step was so easy to hit because you were running 8 miles, you don't want to get an alert saying, hey, you did your 10,000 steps today, because duh, you want to get that on the day while you're walking. Or maybe you don't even want it. Turn it off. I keep my goal alerts on though. And then you have the Move IQ. What does that do? I don't know, I have it off. But if you want it on, put it on. This video was just to show you the different settings to set up for your user profile, your health and wellness, and your safety and tracking. Because settings are confusing when it comes to these watches. And that is exactly why I have another video that you should dive into about how to set up your power management and your main system settings. All right, there are 2 things I have not covered here in settings, which are activities and apps and appearance. That is because I have a whole other series that is coming out for each individual section, because there is so much detail to cover, and my wife is about to have our daughter very soon, so I am gonna be recording that later. So now, let's dive on in. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and we're gonna go to power management. So in power management, this is important because if you want your battery to last longer, you need to have certain settings on, like battery saver. Do you want that on? I always keep it off, even when the watch tells me, hey, you only have 1 more day of battery left. Do you want battery saver on? I always tell it, nah, I'd rather just charge my battery, because it already lasts like 2 weeks in general. Next, you can make it so that you can see your battery percentage. I always keep that on. That's important to see. You don't want to just see a bar on the front and not know what battery you actually have. Then we have the battery estimate, which that's pretty important too. Being able to see you have 12 days left or 3 days left is really helpful as compared to just you have 14%. What is 14%? Is that 2 days? Is that 1 day? Is that 5 days? Have the estimate on. So with that being said, let's dive into the systems, because this is where stuff gets crazy, y'all. Now, right off the bat, you can choose your language. Whatever language you speak, you click it. I am not gonna click anything else. I'm not gonna scroll anything here because I don't wanna accidentally hit the wrong language and then not be able to find my way back. Next, there's passcode, and you can choose what the passcode is on. Let's go into it. When you're in there, you can click passcode and you can choose wallet only or on. That means anytime you want to get into your watch, you need to type a passcode. I ain't about that life. If you are, click it on. If you only want it for when you're using your wallet, click it on that. You can change your passcode as well, which I don't want you to see what my passcode is, so we're going to back out of that. Next, we have time. What do you want your time settings to be? Do you want it to be a 12-hour time format or a 24-hour time format or military time? Because I'm pretty sure military and 24 are the same, but I could be wrong. Then you can choose your date format. I always do month, date, and year, which seems a little weird, but that's what I was taught in America here. You can also do date, month, year, or year, month, date. It's up to you. Next, you can do the time, which I have it set to auto because I want it to sync every time when it's with my phone. I don't want to have to manually, which you can change it to, I don't want to have to manually change my time every single time the time changes, which that's not fun. I don't know if you live in a place with daylight savings and whatnot, but it's pretty annoying, especially if you have a car that doesn't automatically update like me as well. Next, we have alerts. In the alerts, I've already had this covered inside another section. You can go check that out. But it's alerts like, tell me when the sunset's gonna happen. Tell me when the sunrise is going to happen. Tell me when every hour is going to happen. Then you have your time sync, which uses a GPS to sync it up, which it's going to do it automatically right there. 10:49 p.m. That's exactly the time zone that I'm in. Thank you so much, watch. And that's the time setting. Now, let's go into the display settings, which I am going to cover a lot of this in a different video, so we're not going to go too in depth. So you can choose your font size. You can choose the normal font, which is on, or a large font. You don't have really much to choose from other than those two settings. I keep it on the regular font. Then you can choose what your display is going to be during activity. You want your always display on? Choose it on. I do keep that on. It's very helpful. It sucks when you're running and you have to flip up your watch and sometimes it doesn't activate. Keep it on all the time. That's what I do. You can choose your brightness. You can choose it to be a red shift. You can choose to be your gesture on and off, which is you raising your wrist or not, and the timeout, which I keep it at 15 seconds. The brightness has 3 different brightness settings, and the red shift you can choose for it to be 3 different colors, red, orange, or green. But I will cover more of display stuff in another video, like I said. So let's go down here where we do the general use, because that was during activity. Now in general use, you're going to get all the same things. I don't want always display on in my everyday use. I only want it when I'm working out. You can choose the always on display, the brightness, the red shift, the gesture, the timeout. Then you also have these settings for sleep, which that is important. It is very important to set these settings for sleep, at least for me. So maybe it is for you, maybe it's not, but for me, I always like to make sure that I have the lowest brightness during my sleep time. I always like to make sure I have my red shift during my sleep time, which you can see I have the status on. Then I like to make sure the screen stays on as little as possible, which is the 4 seconds. And that is when sleep mode is activated, which I will cover in a whole nother video. Now let's talk about the touch settings. In touch, you can choose to have it on during activities or not. You can enable it for all, you can disable it for all, and for me, I personally have it off on running because I don't want to be touching my screen on accident and it messing me up on my run and accidentally, like, I don't know, stopping the run, whipping the screen around. I'd rather use the buttons. That's why I got this watch, because it has a lot of buttons. You can change it for your strength, your HIIT, any type of workout you can change it for. Now, the only one I do have it on is for breath work. That's just, I don't know why. I can actually take that off. I just keep it off on everything. I don't like using my touch screen while working out. I like the buttons, and that's why I got this watch, for the buttons. And I've tried out a lot of different watches where the touchscreen is utilized as the primary function. And if you watch those reviews on my channel, you'll realize I am truly, like I said, a button guy. Now, for general use, I keep the touchscreen on because it is good to be able to scroll around for general use. I'm not really trying to rush around or anything. I just like to be able to scroll. And for sleep as well, because sometimes pushing buttons is a little difficult when I am asleep. Which sounds weird, but it's much easier to just swipe around when I'm at sleep time. Now, let's dive into satellites, because you got this watch to be able to track your runs and probably your swims and your bike riding. If there's any other activities, you probably need to get a more expensive watch. For me, I keep it always on all systems because it says it right there. Better accuracy. Yes, you can choose GPS off, you can choose GPS only, and you can choose Ultra Track, best battery, lower accuracy. Why not just keep it on the best accuracy all the time? Like with this setting on, my watch still lasts 12 days. Come on, you might as well click that. Now, when it comes to sound and vibration, it's pretty funny because this thing doesn't really have a speaker for like cool sounds. It's just like beep beep, things like that. So when you get in there, you can choose to have haptic feedback for your vibration, your alert tones during activity, which that's what I have. You can have them on whenever. So that means when you get a text message, you would get an alert tone. I'm not that type of person. If you are, turn it on. And if you're a person that doesn't want any type of alerts, just turn it off. I keep it during activity. My alert, I always keep on for vibration. I don't like to hear keytones, and I don't like to have a key vibration. But you can change those settings if that is something you do want. Now, when you go to sleep mode, this is, like I said, very important. Sleep mode, sleep settings. These are really important to me personally as a parent. You can choose a schedule, which you can do by each day individually. This is technically what I would like my ideal schedule to be, but right now it is 10:57 and I am recording this, so I will not be waking up at 6 a.m. You can also choose to have your watch face be the sleep mode or not. I keep it on sleep mode, and you'll be able to set those settings up in display settings, which we can see here in display, which you'll see right here, which is the brightness, the redshift, and the timeout, which we already talked about in this video. Then you can have a nap alarm. Yes, you can take naps with this watch. Do I take naps? Yes, but I don't set alarms. You can choose it to have a tone and a vibration, or just a tone. I usually keep everything on vibrations. And what does that mean? That means when your alarm goes off, it's going to vibrate on your wrist. So when I wake up every single morning for my alarm, it's because my wrist is vibrating. It's a phenomenal feeling to wake up to that instead of a loud noise. Next, you can choose your touch screen to be on. You can choose do not disturb to be on while you're sleeping. And you can choose battery saver on or off while you're sleeping, which, man, maybe that's a good idea to have. I'm putting that on right now at nighttime. Battery saver mode is on during sleep. Now this watch will probably last 17 days. I don't know. That's probably going to save some good battery. Wait, battery saver mode does turn off certain sensors, so I am going to take that off. Now, auto lock is another setting. Do you want to have to unlock your watch all the time? Put it on always. Do you want to unlock your watch during activity? Put it on there. Do you want to unlock your watch when you're not on an activity? Put it on. I keep it off. I don't want my watch to ever auto lock. I want to lock it myself. Next, we have format, which is units. Personally, for my pace and speed, I use miles. For my elevation, I use feet. What is this called? The Imperial measurement system? That's what I use. I don't use the metric system. So I use pounds, I use feet for my height, Fahrenheit for my temperature, but for swimming, we use yards, which I guess is still the imperial because it would be meters. Pressure, what the heck is millibars? I don't know. That's gotta be for swimming and diving. And then vertical speed, feet, and hour. You can change all of these by going in kilometers or miles. Pace, kilometers or miles. Feet, meters or feet. So you can just choose whichever you want. You change the settings to however you want, but that is for your format of units. Now, format for pace and speed preference, when you go on in, you can go to your running. You can choose it to be pace or your speed. What would you rather see? I always have everything on pace. Cycling, I guess, is speed. I don't really cycle much. Cardio is speed. Hiking is speed. Pace for walking, see? Pace. But you can choose what you want to be able to track off of. The other thing here is the start of the week. Do you want the start of your week to be a Monday? Some people do. Some people want it to be a Saturday, and some people want it to be a Sunday. I choose Sunday to begin my week because that's what the watch had. But my days start on Mondays, so now it is switching to Monday. Now let's go into data recording. For the data recording, you can choose how frequent your data is recorded, which here we have smart or every second. I keep it on smart because that's what the watch was at. I don't know what every second means, but I'm pretty sure that is going to drain your battery like crazy. Now, log your HRV or don't log your HRV. You choose. I keep it off because the watch had it off. Now, the other thing you have here is the USB mode. I don't really understand this. I don't plug my watch into a USB. I don't really need that, but if you're someone that's going to be doing that, you can choose between Garmin or media transfer. Don't know what that stuff means, but that's there for you. The other thing is a reset. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not going to click that. I'm not going to entertain that. But if you're looking to reset your settings, please click that button. I'm not going to mess anything up on my watch here. Then there's backup and restore. You can have an automatic backup. You can choose the backup when or backup your contents. Then you have software update. I occasionally come in here, even though I have it on auto update. Sometimes I just come in here just to check, just in case that auto update is not keeping automatically updated to on time, which sometimes that does happen. So it's important to come in here at times. And last but not least, we have the about section. This tells you everything you need to know about your watch. I don't know what any of this means, but it's there if you want to know the about section, especially if you're talking to IT. They're going to help you out. They're going to be like, hey, check your about section, give me these numbers, and now you know where to go. And that is the full tutorial of looking into your settings for the Garmin Forerunner 165. And I'm being real with you here and telling you, there will be 2 other tutorial series coming out for setting up your settings for activities and apps and the appearance of the watch. And on top of that, I will be having a lot more videos coming out for the Forerunner 165 on how to actually set up different displays in your runs and making sure you're able to build certain workouts, which I do have those videos out as well. I'm rambling here. I need to go to sleep. Life's been pretty wild with my wife not feeling good while being pregnant with our daughter right now, but she's about to have that baby and life's gonna get even more wild. So I'll catch you guys as frequent as I can, but I appreciate you for following the channel, and yeah, hit subscribe if you want to see more if you're not subscribed, honestly. Deuces, magooses.